All right, friends, it's Peggy Hall back with you from thehealthyamerican.org. It's Friday. I'm streaming live. It's October 18th, 2024. The year election is just a couple of weeks away, but we're not going to talk about what's going on in politics. We're going to talk about what happens when, like me, you probably get frustrated when you're trying to cancel a subscription that you have online. We're going to dive into that. And I've got two videos for you today. We are closing out the week, and I'd like to end on an upbeat note. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the amazing cards and letters that I've gotten. This time I want to share some that I've gotten from other countries across the world. Yes, I don't say around the globe. You probably know why, but all over the world. So that will be in an upcoming video today. What we're going to talk about is this breaking news from the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, and they are now going to require that it is easier than ever for you to click to cancel a subscription. Going to bring you the message from the sponsor. And as I'm getting ready to do that, let me know in a comment below if that's something that you have struggled with. I want to tell you from the flip side, as someone who actually has subscribers, either the paid subscribers on SUBSTACK. I know there's some funny business going on with certain Visa cards and so forth. We're going to dive into all of that. First, let me thank the sponsor of our show, and it's Noble Gold Investments. Friends, I've been telling you about noblegoldinvestments.com. This is the only gold company that I trust, and I want to tell you right off the bat, give them a call, 877-646-5347. You know, I am not your financial advisor, but you can get all of the expert advice that you need because you might be worried about the future of the U.S. economy. There's so much uncertainty in the air. It's natural to fret about the security of your retirement savings. But there is one asset that has stood the test of time, and that is gold. For centuries, gold has been a hedge against market volatility and economic instability. So with a gold IRA from Noble Gold Investments, you can harness the power of precious metals to help protect your financial future. By rolling over your existing IRA or your 401k into what's called a self-directed IRA, you can enjoy the potential for long-term growth and stability. I like those two words, growth and stability. So diversify your portfolio with a tangible asset that has real value. Setting up your gold IRA has never been easier with Noble Gold Investments' streamlined process and expert guidance. I've told you before, I've interviewed the CEO on this show several times. I probably will do so again coming up very shortly. And you'll find out all about this American company. He is a patriot, so check it out if you're interested. Don't let election volatility and uncertainty keep you up at night. Vote. Even if you're not going to vote at the polls, you can vote for the timeless safety of gold and silver in 2024. Noble Gold Investments is going to give you up to 10 of these 1-ounce silver Trump coins with your qualified account. And if you are not a Trump fan, get this. It is a 10-ounce solid silver American flag bar. I think that is the coolest thing as a keepsake or, of course, to have for your future. So go to noblegoldinvestments.com. I'll have a link for you in the description box below, along with the disclaimer, noblegoldinvestments.com. Friends, I wanted to bring you this breaking news as we are closing out the week. And this just popped up into my email box. And this is all about the FTC requiring click to cancel, like a streamlined process, if you have an online subscription. I have been frustrated when I have tried to cancel a subscription. I remember I had a program that I was using to edit some of my videos. And for some reason, I had it there twice. Can you imagine? I was being charged twice for the same service. And it obviously was my fault for some reason. I don't know why. I need to audit that a little more carefully. So when I went to try to cancel, it was so darn frustrating. I was going in a loop. I was going to my account. I was going to subscription. I was going to manage subscription, and it kept, kicking me off and putting me into a whole loop. Then when I tried to get the customer service, I was getting frustrated as well. I will tell you, At the end of the day, it all turned out fine. I was able to get that subscription canceled. But let me ask you, have you experienced that kind of frustration where you're going in a loop and you're not making any headway? And it almost feels, I'm going to change that phrase because it's not, it almost feels. It is intentionally done so that you might rethink unsubscribing, or you might be so frustrated that you think, oh, I'm just going to put it off to another day, and then you forget about it. That has happened to me many times. And I really understand from the flip side, because I have some lovely, healthy Americans. Let me know in a comment if you are a paid subscriber to Substack. Some people are doing it for $5 a month or $55 a year. I don't want you to give me a penny if you don't have a penny to give. Trust me, the good Lord above, he provides. But so many of you are doing this as a gesture of appreciation for the hours that I spend researching along with my assistant, Olivia, putting these Substacks together. And then, of course, all of the videos that I do with my research and, you know, coming in front of you here day in, day out. Well, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And I thank you for that. And I appreciate it. But I also understand that money is tight. People are on budgets. And if that is something that you want to change, I have had people reach out to me in frustration saying, hey, I can't get the Substack or I can't get Stripe. And I was going back and forth with one of my subscribers who, by the way, said that she's still going to support me, but she wants to send a check instead of doing it online. That's my preferred way as well. And in my upcoming broadcast, I'm going to share with you some of your cards and letters that have come in. I really love hearing from you. I'm like, I've got so many pen pals now, and I am up to date on my replies. If for some reason you didn't get a thank you note or a response from me, please email me, support@thehealthyamerican.org. I've got about 4 or 5 letters that got separated from the envelopes, and I'm trying to track down how I can reply. So maybe that's you. Please let me know. But I love the snail mail. I love having options outside of these online subscriptions. So if you would like to subscribe, you can subscribe for free, for example, to the Substack. But if you wanted to support me, just let me know. Send me a card or letter, and I will put you on as a paid subscriber with your financial support. I really appreciate it. It's the least I can do to thank you for being on board with me. And of course, we do our monthly live webinars for all of our financial partners. And if you can't make it live, you get the recording. And we are going on 2 years. Yes. We started this back in 2022 to do our monthly webinars, and lately, we've been having different guests each month, and it's so great to speak in an uncensored manner in our private group. So, having said that, I also empathize being the person who oversees the subscriptions and then hearing from my subscribers that are so frustrated because they can't figure out how to unsubscribe. Now, you can unsubscribe from Substack with one click if you are just getting these. But if you are a paid subscriber, I think you can do the same. But what I want to share with you is this very interesting piece of news that just came to my email. Federal Trade Commission announces final click to cancel rule, making it easier for subscribers to end their subscription. So I'm not in favor of overarching government regulations. I've spoken on this channel for years about how I prefer small government, limited government. I favor individual responsibility. As we saw in North Carolina, it was the other Americans, friends and neighbors, and even people coming from great distances to come and help out, doing it far more effectively and efficiently in most cases, much more than the government. But here's a case where this rule, I think, is a step in the right direction. Let me know what you think. So here we go. The click to cancel rule makes it easier for consumers to end the recurring subscriptions and memberships. Let's get a round of applause. The agency acts after receiving more than 16,000 comments from the public. Now, there are a couple of things that are really cool. I'm going to come off the screen share. I will continue to read this for you, and I will have a Substack probably for you in a couple days from now, where I'll have a link to this article. What I think is really compelling about this article is that it says the agency acted after 16,000 requests from the public, from the consumers. So that's interesting because, first of all, I haven't verified whether that's true or not, but let's go on the assumption that that is true. That shows that this agency, in any case, is actually being responsive to the public. Now, I don't know if they're trying to brush up their reputation by doing this, because heaven knows they have not really stepped up to the plate when it comes to censorship, such as on this platform and others. But let me just share with you what's going on with this. So the Federal Trade Commission announced today, which was actually just a couple of days ago, but on October 16th, I just got this today, that the final click to cancel rule will require sellers, such as myself or Substack or Stripe, to make it as easy as possible for their consumers to cancel their enrollment as it was for them to sign up. Most of this provision of the final rules provisions will go into effect 180 days after it is published in the Federal Register. So that's still some months away, but it does get the ball rolling, and it does start the clock for websites and subscription-based services to make it super easy. Now, I will say that I use Stripe and Substack kind of like a second and third party. It's not on my website. That money does not go directly to me. It goes to Substack, and then Substack runs it through Stripe, and then Stripe over a couple of days. And believe you me, Substack takes a cut and Stripe takes a cut, which is also why it's great to have cash or a check as a support instead, because all of these third parties take their little cuts. Also, friends, if you would like to be a paid subscriber and you don't have the $5 a month, please drop me an email. I don't want anybody to be excluded. I only want the trolls and the bad guys to be excluded. So there's a little bit of a hoop to jump through. So speaking of hoops, the Commission, FTC Commission Chair Lena Khan says too often businesses make people jump through endless hoops just to cancel a subscription. The FTC's new rule will end these tricks and traps, saving Americans time and money. Nobody should be stuck paying for a service they no longer want. And I actually agree with that. So the final rule will provide a consistent legal framework that prohibits sellers, meaning Substack, Stripe, and others, because I'm on a subscription for my website, for example. There's a monthly subscription that I pay, and if I want to make any changes, I also have to go down the rabbit hole to figure out where to make the changes. So the final rule from the FTC says that it's now prohibited for any seller to misrepresent any material fact while marketing goods or services with a negative option feature, meaning you're already up and running and then you have to kind of opt out of it. That's my understanding. Sellers are prohibited from failing to clearly and conspicuously disclose material terms prior to a consumer's billing information, and sellers cannot fail. In other words, it's illegal for them to fail to obtain the consumer's express informed consent to the negative option features before charging the consumer. Yeah, informed consent. We need more of that, don't we? And then finally, basically, it's illegal if you don't provide a simple mechanism to cancel and immediately halt the charges. Let's have a round of applause here. Oh my gosh, absolutely crazy. What about the websites where you can't get a human being? Now, I was using a food service for Teddy, and I had food delivered, and they were actually very responsive. but I always had to do it online, like through a chat. And it was quick and they were responsive. But have you ever tried to get through to like Amazon? Now, I'm not on PayPal or eBay or something like that, but I think a lot, or YouTube for that example, for another example. So I think that can be rather frustrating as well. What say you? I'm going to take a look. Tammy says it's a good thing. Fadista, I want to thank you. I got, speaking of a beautiful letter, I did not have a return address for you. So please email me so I can send you. And I'd be happy to read your letter if you would give me permission. I think there was so much in there that I would love to share. So Who Am I says, does that include emailed newsletters? That is a really good question. My reading of this rule is yes. I don't think it has to do just with money, although I might have to dig deeper into the actual rule that was passed. But that summary, to me, I think it's if you are subscribed, you have to have a one-click unsubscribe. Now, I don't do newsletters anymore, but I do the SUBSTACK. And on the newsletter, you could do a one-click unsubscribe. Okay. Yes, in terms of emails, how do I am so grateful to hear from you in the emails. It's not possible for me to answer every email, and it's not reasonable to expect that I could, because there are thousands of emails that flood in on an ongoing basis. I do my best to reply to the comments within the first 24 hours on the videos. The best way to get my attention and to get your question answered is to be a financial partner and then come to our monthly webinars, because I answer every single question that is posed in our Q&A function. And that's how it should be for those who are financial partners and who are investing in the work that I do at the Healthy American. They get top priority. If you have something that is very pressing, that is where you could get the help, or you watch the videos. I believe that I've answered every email that comes my way. I think I have already answered it in a video, because I've been doing this for many years. And I have all of the videos under playlist. So if you have a question about a medical issue, you go under medical rights. If you have a question about being exempt, you go under exemptions. If you have a question about something else, look under the playlist. But it is not possible for us to answer every email. And it's not reasonable to consider that we could. There's only me, and Olivia helps, and that's how that works. So the emails that come in with links to watch videos and so forth, I rarely, unless I just happen to be there when it comes in, and I'll say, thanks so much, I'll take a look at it. But I rarely have the opportunity to reply if you are sending me a link to watch something or an article to read, because there's no action that requires me to respond to that. If you do have an issue, the things that we respond to right away are issues with billing, issues with these kinds of things like unsubscribe. If you have purchased something and you don't have a link. So all of those customer service emails are answered within 24 hours. On a very rare occasion, if maybe they went into spam or trash, we didn't see it right away. But everything to do with a product, a service that you have invested in, having difficulty accessing something that you purchased, all of those are handled immediately. So thank you, Fadista. I'm going to read it in the very next video. So that was a great letter that you sent me. I'm so happy to hear from all of our lovely Healthy Americans. I've said it before, and I'm going to keep saying it. I have the best audience on YouTube, and I love ending out the week on a very positive note. So there we have it. Thank you, everyone, for your comments, for being online, and stick with me, and I will be with you in just a few minutes here as I queue up our next video, where we're going to take a look and listen to what's on your mind in terms of your cards and letters and concerns, and also your tips and support.